Welcome back to A Healthy Dose. I'm here with Rebekah Khan, and we just heard some of the major health issues she has had to navigate throughout her life. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. Rebekah's husband, Ozzy, also needed care for a period of time, and that's where we're going to dive into now. So tell us, what exactly happened to Ozzy?
Ozzy loved to play sports. He went to a men's soccer game, and I had a new Toyota Camry, or no, a Corolla, and he got like sideswiped by a Ford 250 pickup truck, and his car went flying. I think it was like 300 meters. So he had a traumatic brain injury. I was called at home and I was told that my husband had an accident. He was asking for me, so I needed to come to the hospital.
So when you got to the hospital, what did you find? What did you expect to find?
When I got to the hospital, my husband was not conscious. There was a policeman waiting beside him. I had a 6-month-old baby, a 3-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 17-year-old. So I left my 3-year-old home with the teenagers, and I grabbed a diaper bag and went to the hospital expecting to drive home. He was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. We were short-staffed in this hospital in London for some reason, and they thought maybe he broke his spine or his neck, so he needed to have an x-ray. But they didn't have an x-ray tech that could hold him while they took the x-rays. So I said, listen, I'm done having babies. Give me an apron and I will stand there and I will
Oh,
hold him,
and
which
you
I
did that.
did. And he didn't have, thank God he didn't have a
Yeah.
spinal injury and he wasn't paralyzed.
Wow. So what were those early days of his recovery like? Like what kind of level of
So
care did he need? And
early days, he was just in the hospital and in intensive care, and they were watching a lot. His memory, when they asked him what his name was, he didn't know. So he said, I'm Elmer Fudd, and I have a mansion and a yacht. And they thought he was joking. But that he was joking because he couldn't remember
yeah.
his name. He recognized me, but he looked and pointed at our little baby who he was obsessed with and said, who is he? And I
Oh,
was like, this is
wow.
Jakey. This is baby Jakey, you know,
Yeah.
um, which was heartbreaking, but his memory did come back. He was released from the hospital and he had to spend, I think it was at least 4 or 5 weeks off of work and at home
Mm.
to recover. So he was quite the athlete and he was going to walk like 3 or 4 times a day if he needed to. And he would say that as he was walking, his feet would be hitting the pavement. But
Mhm.
when he looked with his eyes, he would see the grass beside the pavement, beside the sidewalk.
Wow.
So he knew that wasn't good because his depth perception was
Yeah.
off. Um, but he kept walking. He couldn't remember um, things at all. His short-term memory was shot. And this
Mm.
is a guy that was an executive that had 55
Right.
projects on the go, and he remembered every detail and he remembered all the people's names that he worked with globally.
Wow.
So that
Did
was
it
a real
affect his
struggle for him.
emotions too? Because many times you hear brain trauma people have a time where their emotions change some
Yeah.
or some.
Uh, Absolutely. I would say like it was a Jekyll and a Hyde. With the
Mm.
little ones, the 3-year-old and the baby, he would be very gentle and kind and sweet, but he would be easily snap at me or the older kids.
Mm.
Um, so that was quite a struggle. And, he looked fine on the outside, but he
Mhm.
was not the same person.
Mm.
And I just had to come to terms with, this is not the man I married, the same personality and everything.
Mm.
But I chose to love him in sickness and in health. And this is a sickness. And I just
Yeah.
believe that, continually loving him and encouraging him, he would come back. And
Right.
one doctor told me, you have to give the brain time to heal. And about 2 years out will be where he will be for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Because the brain is very, I don't know what they called, like elastic or whatever. It can
Right.
heal itself, and you just need to be very patient as that
So
time comes through.
do you feel like the medical community gave you enough information and tools in order to know what to expect along the way? We have 20 seconds.
No, I don't think that there is a lot of tools. I was a young mom raising 4 kids, set a lot on my plate, and obviously I didn't know what I was doing, but I think my faith in God, I would just pray and give for myself to have patience and to just realize that, he was going to make it and it was a gift that he was alive.